And we're talking with Meathead from AmazingRibs.com. Had a little bit of burger talk. Just found out he's one of the final 9 that might go to the Barbecue Hall of Fame this year. Whew! Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. So we have some barbecue questions and grilling questions from Facebook and Instagram and all this other stuff, but go ahead first.
Yeah, you can see me wagging my finger.
Yes, I can.
Is Traeger a sponsor of yours?
Not anymore.
Well, good, because I want to lay into them for just a minute.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they advertise occasionally on my website, but I'm about to kill that. I just was watching a YouTube video today, and there was a Traeger ad that led into it, and it really pissed me off. There's a bunch of people standing around grilling on a gas grill saying, "Tastes like gas to me. Oh, I like the taste of gas. It tastes like gas." That is utterly ridiculous bullshit. You cannot taste propane or natural gas in the food. It may have a different flavor because it doesn't have the same types of smoke. It doesn't have gas will occasionally taste different, but it does not taste like gas. And the implication is that it tastes like gasoline, and that is just a foul low blow from a company that should have higher standards and greater integrity. They want to attack Gas Grill as the competitor. That's fine. Talk about the advance. You know, I'm sorry, Greg. I'm doing a Greg Rempe invitation here with a rant. But when I was a boy, color TVs just debuted on the market. I'm that old. And my dad said, we need a color TV. And he and I went shopping for color TVs. Mm-hmm. And we went to the Zenith store, and we went to the Motorola store, and we went to the Philips store, because there was no Best Buy. There was no one store that carried them all. And we went to all the stores, and every time when we went into the Zenith store, they told us how bad the Motorola and the Philips were. And when we went to the Philips store, they told us how bad the other two were. And you know what? We didn't buy any of them. When you compete in the open marketplace, sell your benefits and don't kick your enemy or your competition around. It only makes you look bad, especially when it's a lie. And Traeger, you lie.
Wow, really, Meathead? Uh-oh. I mean, could it be that they're just trying to be a little gimmicky? And
of course they are, but it's just not right. I mean, they're just giving tastes like gas.
But could that be the point where they assume gas has no taste, and they're saying, well, these guys like stuff without any taste, and the Traeger puts in taste?
I don't think so.
I'm just being devil's advocate here, Meathead.
I appreciate you trying to think around all sides of the argument. I think they're clearly trying to tell the public that gas grills taste foul.
All right. Meathead from AmazingRibs.com, severing his relationship with Traeger as we speak.
They're never going to advertise on our website.
All right. So we have some questions here from Facebook and Instagram. The first one is from E_Bloomfield, which I believe this is an Instagram question. It says, can you do proper barbecue? This is in quotes. Can you do proper barbecue without salt and without MSG?
That's an interesting question. Yeah. All right. You know, I get a lot of questions like this because a lot of rubs contain salt. A lot of rubs contain sugar. Can I leave the sugar out? MSG, same sort of thing. So let's do the salt first. We're warned a great deal about salt and its possible impact on blood pressure. Everybody is different. Everybody's systems are different. I can't tell you what's healthy and what's not healthy, but I can tell you that the rule of thumb that we teach is 1/2 a teaspoon of kosher salt per pound, or 1 teaspoon of table salt per pound of meat. Now think about that. Quarter pounder burger is 1/4 of a pound.
Right.
1/4 teaspoon for a whole pound. So we're talking about 1/16 of a teaspoon of salt on a 1/4 pound burger. That's not a lot. It does amplify flavor. It does help protein hold on to moisture. You can leave it out, but you lose those two benefits. You diminish flavor, and you will have slightly greater moisture loss. So now it's still proper barbecue. I mean, I don't know what proper barbecue is, frankly. There goes my chance at the Hall of Fame. But it has benefits, and you don't have to use a lot. Now, MSG. This is another one. Glutamate, monosodium glutamate. MSG is glutamate with a free sodium attached. Glutamate appears everywhere, all around us. It's really common in meats, mushrooms, cheeses, anything laden with protein. Fermented foods like soy sauce, full of glutamate or glutamic acid. Some people think it causes headaches. Nobody has been ever able to prove that it actually. I mean, you give people food with glutamate, you give another group of people the same food without glutamate, and you can't pin down who's getting a headache. There's no statistical difference. I mean, Doritos, for example, is loaded with glutamate.
Isn't a lot of stuff loaded with MSG and people just don't pay attention?
Right. It's like, look at my mom says she can't eat Chinese food because of MSG, but I can give her Doritos and she'll never bat an eye. Jeffrey Steingarten, one of the great food writers of our era, once talked about this Chinese restaurant syndrome. And he famously said, so why doesn't everyone in China have a headache?
Right.
So glutamate is everywhere. I am not aware of many barbecue recipes that call for MSG because of the concerns, the fears, unfounded, I think, that people have over MSG. Very few recipes call for it. But if you have accent, which is MSG, laying around, and you haven't played with it, or Ajinomoto, which is the Japanese MSG version, you might want to play with it. You might want to sprinkle a little on a burger just before you cook, or on a steak, or one of your Wagyu dry-aged hot dogs. It can amp it up. It's a really interesting thing to play with.
So let me ask you, you just kind of threw that out there at the last second. Are you a believer in 100% dry-aged Wagyu beef hot dogs, or do you think that's more of a scam? I don't want to say scam, but more of an effort to get money where you can?
Everything I know about dry-aged hot dogs, I learned from you 30 minutes ago. I've never heard of it before.
Oh.
I by the way, last time I was on, we were talking about dry-aged meats a bit, and I drew a blank on the company Crowd Cow. I couldn't remember their name. I'm glad you brought them up. If people haven't heard of them, they should pay attention to this company, sign up, or at least get their newsletters, because they're doing some really interesting things with buying high-quality meats from good growers, both in this country, and they're bringing in real Japanese beef, not necessarily Kobe, but it's almost exactly the same thing, significantly different than Wagyu beef that you get in this country. And if they're selling hot dogs with 14 days dry age, get me some, will you, Greg? I want to try it.
All right, I'll send a package your way. We'll have a package headed out to you.
I love hot dogs. I've written extensively on AmazingRibs.com about all. I did a documentary of all of the hot dog styles from around America, because it's really interesting. Every hamburger joint in your neighborhood serves a different style of hamburger, but there is a classic Chicago style hot dog with specific ingredients. There is a classic style of a Detroit Coney Red Hot, or a Cincinnati dog, or a New York dog. So regional styles for hot dogs are really definitive. And I've tried to document them all, and they're a lot of fun. And I think it's a fun way to have a party, like a football game. You just grill up or simmer up a bunch of hot dogs, and then you prepare all these different toppings so people can have an Arizona dog or a Dodger dog or whatever. It's a fun idea.
All right, next question from Cookout Coach. If you could smoke on any style of pit, which would it be?
Yeah, I have one of everything, because when I'm testing a recipe, I want to make sure that it works on a Kamado, that it works on a pellet smoker, that it works on a Smoky Mountain, that it can be done on a PK 360 or a charcoal grill that's divided in 2 zones. So I tried, everything. But I do all my recipe writing based on time and temp from a pellet smoker, because you can nail the temperature. You know it's going to hit that temperature and stay really close to it, so that I can say to the reader, X amount of time at Y temperature, and know that that will work. But if I could cook on anything, it would either be pellet smokers. I like the flavor, by the way. A lot of people complain it's not smoky enough, but I like it delicate. Yep. But to me, the ultimate flavor is still stick burners. And the best barbecue I have ever had, Darren Worth from Iowa Smoky D, guest on your show occasionally. Yep. He cooks on a Jambo. I've had a number of people's food that are cooked on a Jambo. These are stick burners. They are not reverse flow. They're fantastic quality. They require attention. So if you have a stick burner, you need to pay attention. You need to be by its side. You need to watch it. There is a thermostat attachment that I've seen you review. You reviewed it for us, in fact. Yeah. But stick burners need attention. Now, right behind that Jambo is the BBQ. And the BBQ is phenomenal. I have one, and it makes the best food that I cook. It is a stick burner, but you're constantly nursing it. You're constantly adding wood. But the cool thing is the wood sits above the cook chamber. The fire is at the bottom of the wood pile, and the smoke is pulled through the fire, burning off all impurities on its way into the cooking chamber. And it is a novel design, and you get absolutely the cleanest, best tasting blue smoke you've ever tasted. Wow. The food is phenomenal. They're not cheap. They're not huge capacity, but they'll hold enough for a big party. But the firebox is very small, and you just got to be sitting there drinking beer, reading a book, or listening to radio, and putting a log on the fire. All right. Put a log on the fire. Put a log on the fire. But it is the cleanest burning cooker I've ever cooked on, and I can almost match Darren Worth.
All right, last question here before we let you go, Meathead, from BBQ Hunk. What is your favorite piece, thighs or leggies?
We talking chicken or
I don't know. I guess it's chicken.
God help me. I'm damned to hell after that statement. There goes my chance at the Hall of Fame. I like them both, just about equally. I love skin. Chicken skin is right behind bacon for me. Yeah. So I guess legs. I ordered some wings. I haven't had a bucket of wings in a long time, but I went to Florida to visit my mom for Mother's Day, and I had a bucket of wings while I was down there at the hotel, and I love the crispy skin. I just love crispy skin.
You can find Meathead the second Tuesday of the month right here on the Barbecue Central show. You can see him potentially getting into the Barbecue Hall of Fame in 2019, believe it or not, as he has made the 9 short list of other names. So we'll see how that fares here over the next couple months. And, of course, you can find him at AmazingRibs.com. Meathead, always appreciate the time and the insight, my friend.
Greg, it's always great hanging out with you and the Centralites. Thanks for the good questions out there, folks. And If you got more of them, come on over and paste them on AmazingRibs.com. Thank you very much.
Meathead on the Fogo Charcoal hotline, fogocharcoal.com. FOGO, by the way, fogocharcoal.com.